Ladies and gentlemen, this is my famous CELPIP guide, which is available for free. I'll tell you how you can get access to it in a few seconds. Now, this one here is focused on speaking, and the same guide goes over writing, reading, and listening as well. So here it shows you, first of all, if you're not familiar with CELPIP, there are 8 parts, and it tells you what each part is about, the timing for each part, preparation time and speaking time, as well as the total time, which is about 15 to 20 minutes. Expect fluency, coherence, and clear communication. This is an overview of the CELPIP exam for speaking. Examiners focus on pronunciation, sentence structure, and use of appropriate vocabulary for different contexts. This is exactly what I'm going to go over in some sample answers I'm going to show you today, which are high scoring answers. If you use them and you speak like the students in these sample answers, you will score beautifully and cover all these areas. So we're going to look at a couple, but how do you get access to this guide, which is beautiful? It is so detailed, you probably don't need a lot of other resources if you go through this one. And it's free, okay? All you got to do is email me. Email is in the description. I'm sending it to everybody. It doesn't matter who, it's not a contest. Just email me asking for the guide and we will send it to you. Now, this student of ours, he took our CELPIP course, or she, I can't remember. I recently purchased your CELPIP course, which has extensively detailed content, which helped me in scoring the maximum grade in writing and also helped me in attaining a 10 in speaking. Your templates are very helpful and precise. This is what we will look at today when we're talking about speaking. This student got a 10 and you can too. Now, the most important details are in my course with the most detailed and an exclusive breakdown that only course purchasers will see. That course is also in the description. But if we're looking at this guide, we can look at a few examples to give you a really good idea to get started. Now, we're going to look at this question number 7. This is part 7 of CELPIP speaking, which is the debate question. Vacation pay should be eliminated as it is a burden on the employer as well as businesses. What is your opinion? Now, let's look at some tips and you can read it. I'm not going to go over it entirely. I'm more interested in the sample answer, which is what I want to show you. But for this part, the guide tells you got to focus on choosing a clear stance. It's important. You pick one side. Don't talk about both sides. That's not what the examiner wants. Pick one side and defend it. Identify 3 strong reasons. 3 or even 2 are fine. Anything less or more, they're not going to be effective in 90 seconds. Use advanced vocabulary and structures, which is what we'll see right here. Provide concrete examples or evidence, especially for this part 7. If you have examples showing that your stance makes sense, it is perfect for a debate type of question, which is exactly what this is. And the last one is maintain coherence and cohesion, have a good structure, and you will see that structure in the sample answer. Let me just actually tell you that right now. The structure is you have your opinion, you have firstly, secondly, thirdly. So you got 3 points, and then you have your conclusion that rephrases your opinion. That is the structure, and that will maintain your coherence and cohesion. Plus, it'll help you finish everything in time. Now let's look at some other elements in this answer. I firmly oppose. Right away, we start with our opinion. You can also start with a general sentence and then your opinion, but it's important to get to the opinion within the first 10 seconds. I firmly oppose the elimination of vacation pay as it is indispensable for fostering employee well-being. See how the words are not only advanced, but they're passionate, they're aggressive, because we are debating. I'm not saying it is really good to do this. No, I'm saying it is indispensable, very highly important. Enhancing productivity and ensuring organizational loyalty. Now, this is more detailed than it needs to be. You don't need 2 to 3 points in the intro. You could just say for the well-being of employees and overall productivity. That's good as well, in case you don't want to think too much at the start. But if you're able to, this does create a really good first impression because you have good detail right at the beginning. First reason, firstly, vacation pay is crucial for employee well-being. Paid time off allows individuals to rest and recharge. This is your reasoning. You have to give the reason how. Reducing stress and preventing burnout. This not only improves, talk about that in a second, their mental and physical health, but also contributes to a more positive work environment. Now, this is perfect. There's so much detail, a lot of examples given here within the two sentences, but there's also a complex sentence. Not only this, but also something, something, which gives you marks basically. The more complex sentences you have, the better. But you can also notice we have simple sentences as well. So you want to do a mixture of simple and complex sentences. Now, let's go to our next point. Secondly, providing vacation pay significantly enhances productivity. When employees have the opportunity to take regular breaks, they return to work rejuvenated and more focused. Now, this is our result. We're now giving the result. This increased concentration leads to higher quality work and greater efficiency, ultimately benefiting the company's overall performance. So guys, things like these, like this little addition at the end, they sometimes complete your task response really beautifully, like in this case. So if I were to just finish here, right? I just said this and finish here, I would still feel like it's not wrapped up nicely. So what can I add? I don't have too much time. So what can I really do? What you can really do is add a clause like this. Ultimately, eventually, overall, this will, or finally, leading to a short clause at the end that wraps up the idea. And again, you can see it's detailed, this point as well. And it is brief, which you can complete talking about in about 20 seconds. So you say this in 20 seconds, you say the first point in 20 seconds, you say the last point in 20 seconds, you got 60 seconds. Now, intro and conclusion will take the remaining time and you will finish in 90 seconds. Let's go to the third point. Thirdly, vacation pay plays a vital role in cultivating organizational loyalty. And now we're going to expand. So did you notice in every point we say thirdly, secondly, firstly, and then we have a short sentence, and then the next sentences are the ones that expand and elaborate. This is a really, really good advanced structure and simple structure for you to use. When employers invest in their employees' time off, again, this is the demonstration. This is where the example comes in, the why and how. So when you do this, this is the process that the student is explaining. It demonstrates a commitment to their workforce's happiness and satisfaction. This fosters a sense of appreciation and loyalty, reducing turnover rates and retaining valuable talent within the company. And again, you can see this and this and this contribute. Every time at the end of our point, we're trying to wrap it up nicely with a short sentence at the end or a short clause showing that this is what we mean. Okay, now finally, in conclusion, maintaining vacation pay is essential for ensuring the health and satisfaction of employees, boosting productivity, and fostering long-term loyalty. In other words, you have just rephrased everything you said up here. Now, if this is too hard for you to think on, what you can do is just say, due to many social and health-related reasons for the benefit of the employees. Something shorter, right? Something that is simpler. You could even say due to several social factors. Now that's the simplest one. I do want us to be a little bit more complex than that, but there are variations for this to make it easy for you. Eliminating this benefit would not only harm the workforce, but also undermine the success and sustainability of businesses. What does this sentence do for you? This sentence is something that you should always keep in reserve. You should always have a reserve because you want to try to finish before the 90 seconds, around 80, 85 seconds. And now if you have extra time, you can always add something like this to make it complete. And if you don't add this, it's not a problem. You have done everything else perfectly. At least you have the option of finishing this off nicely. The worst thing is you not timing yourself well and rushing at the end. That's the opposite of what we're trying to do. Instead, we want to leave more time, and if we have time to fill, we could add a little sentence at the end like this to wrap it up nicely. Okay, you can once again review this answer. You can pause the video and check it out. If you answer like this, you're going to score phenomenal marks. Let's check out another question. This is question 8 with a picture of a creepy guy with a spider body. It says, you are in a gallery while on travel when you notice this strange wall art. Call your local art gallery and describe this picture so they can add something similar to their collection. Give them a thorough description of the picture. There's something very important I gotta tell you guys for this question, because here people are really confused about the greetings in a situation like this. I mean, are you gonna say, hello, how are you, to this person who is answering? You don't know them, right? So how you can start something like this is, hi, my name is Sean. I'm currently at this, and go on from there. So you don't need to say how are you or how's life, because you're not talking to an informal person. Just mention your name, my name is this, and I am, and get to the point. So we'll look at this answer in a second. Before that, let's look at the tips. Be detailed and descriptive. You want to describe as much of the picture as possible. Focus on the key elements. So make sure to focus on this guy, the spider guy, at first, and then everything else later. You want to focus on the main elements first in case you're running out of time. At least you get the main things done. Interpret the image. Your interpretation matters. It doesn't matter exactly what is being shown, and every student will interpret it differently. So just make sure you define it well, but interpretation, what you see is okay. It's going to be different than what I see. Keep it organized. Of course, it's short, 60 seconds, and we'll see the organization right here. So you can see the length of this answer is lesser than the previous one because this is 60 seconds. Now, hi, my name is Sean, and you don't have to say hey or hello, just simple. Keep it simple, quick. Hi, my name is Sean. I'm currently at a gallery and came across a very striking piece of art. Define things with adjectives as much as possible, adds to your range of vocabulary. That I think you might find interesting for your collection. So you have the purpose done in the first few sentences. It's basically the first main sentence after your intro. And you get the purpose done there. This is why I'm calling. Good. Now you go into the description. The artwork features a large spider with a human face, which appears to represent a powerful figure. As the name Aldrich, which is written here, I believe that's Aldrich, yeah. Aldrich is written across the spider's body. So defining the picture, the little details there. The spider's head is an older man with a stern expression. Define the expressions, of course, use adjectives. White mustache, stern expression. Good. Its body is positioned over a large web, and the words Senate Committee Room are visible in the center, indicating a connection to politics or government. Now, this is again us in the first paragraph focusing on the main thing, which is the spider and the web. And now we have more time. We can still talk about other stuff. Now we go into the next one. Surrounding the spider are smaller flies. Now, guys, you are more than welcome to use words like furthermore, on the other hand, likewise. We can also see all those things are great. But if you can come up with custom connectors, like in this case, surrounding the spider are smaller flies. This is very custom to this picture, and that's good. If you can come up with that, it's going to be based on the situation, and that will add to your marks. And it's also advanced when we start with something like this. Smaller flies, each labeled with words like this, this, and this. These are the words that are written, which seem to be entangled in the web. The image gives off a dark political commentary, possibly criticizing the control or corruption. This is not in the picture. This is your interpretation. You would interpret it differently from other people, and you feel free to interpret how you feel it is. And that's what the student is mentioning here. Within the government system, it's a very thought-provoking piece. Now we're going towards the ending, so we're now describing the overall picture, which with rich symbolism that could definitely draw attention in your gallery. Look how nicely we have tied this back into the initial idea. Remember, we're calling an art gallery. So a lot of times people finish with, I hope you like my description, take care. But that's not why we're talking. We're calling this art gallery to tell them, hey, maybe you can hang this in your gallery. So relate it back, tie it back with the topic. I thought it would be worthwhile sharing this with you. Very nice finish, and this is again an example of that bonus sentence that you can do at the end when you have extra time. That's it for this video. Please like, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. And if you want guaranteed improvement in your CELPIP study progress, check out our 15-hour course in the description.